Good evening. Happy subscriber date night, everybody. Hello, hello. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining me. I love seeing everybody here. You guys are just literally the best. You are. And I thank you so, so very much. Well, if you are new here, hi, my name is Angie, and this is Learn Love Tarot. This message tonight that I am bringing is for our best and highest good, no matter when you are watching the message, because energy is cyclical. So know that if you came across it, if somebody shared it with you, no matter if it's not March 27th, that there's something in that message for you, even if it's just one little tidbit that you receive. Thank you in advance for sharing your energy with me by subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button. Also, by commenting, you are sharing energy with me, and that is a beautiful way to exchange energy and have the readings be more pertinent to what is happening within your own life cycles. You can learn more about me in the link to my description box there, just in the bottom there. You will see the link to today's notes. We have our subscriber art spotlight there in the chat. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, information is back on my homepage. So let's get to it, guys. Thank you again so much for being here. Welcome to Miss Peg, Miss Kathy. Hey, Jennifer. And hey, Liz, baby, I love it. Miss Ash, Judy Jude, the gang's piling up. I love it. Thank you guys so much again. The subscriber art, oh my gosh. Of course, I had to include something my niece did. It's in my kitchen. It's a little round piece she did. I'm like, the simplicity of it. And it's just like, be happy. That's really the secret to everything, right? There's always something to be thankful for. So I just love how flipping cute that is. A little cherry with a smile and face. So what we're going to be doing, if you haven't yet had a chance to look at my daily energetics that I did, and I posted it on Tuesday since I could not get it out for Monday night after the fifth time trying. I went, okay, we're just gonna have to wait on that one, but it does go all the way through Sunday. It is pretty time consuming, so let me know if you guys like that. If you like seeing what we have reviewed and what's coming up ahead. Because I can put my energy elsewhere, whatever would serve you best. So please let me know. Just as a, in general here, before I start laying per air, water, earth, and fire energy, I'm seeing here my big question is, what cycle is a wrap? So there's this trickery energy, and there's that acorn again with the squirrel. He's got a bunch of acorns there in his basket. I just heard, oh God, that's such an old song. That's embarrassing. Picking up pawpaws, putting them in the basket. Does anybody, or is it just me? Is it just my hillbilly, my hillbilliness coming up there? But trickery, and this is a big dragon. We saw a dragon appear this morning that kind of looked like it was a dragon morphing into a snake. And then on the bottom of the deck, what could be what we feel around us. Liz was just talking about boredom earlier in the week. I think it was Tuesday. And I commented because I laughed and I said the same thing to my kids. Only boring people can be bored, right? So figure it out. You're much too clever to be bored. And then while I was working this afternoon, I forget even which one it was. I think it was the eclipse. If you guys listen to Steve's Loves Tarot, he started talking about boredom. And I was like, no freaking way. That was, and look at this. We got this here on the bottom of the deck, this complacency energy, how our root chakra has not felt very fired up. And it's just kind of like waiting, energy, waiting for something to happen. The trees have lost their leaves at this point. and what's in the surrounding energy, maybe even being complacent to this trickery kind of energy, as far as we are no longer allowing our own mind to play tricks on us and convince us that energy is or isn't there when it is or isn't, right? So if we're telling ourselves that things are going to get better with this job, with, fill in the blank, but we have a cycle of evidence, and how much evidence have we built up to tell us the contrary? Okay, so that would be an example of trickery of our own mind, and that would simply be, we trick ourselves. We kind of, it's gonna feel better because we're really afraid to take the action that it would require to change that, right? Trickery in your surroundings, or what someone feeling complacent around you and saying, yeah, they're going to get to it. That kind of feels that way as well. So I feel like this is what is coming to an end here. What cycle is the movie clapper wrap? And in the environmental energy, you're like deciding it's time to do something about this. Complacency with whatever you do not wish to have in your life. That's a rep. Okay, so it's an energetic closure. And even under that, this growth energy, okay, this is what's waiting. And we see, I was just talking about the leaves falling off of the dead tree. And here we have an energy of new growth. This is wheat, separating wheat from the chaff. This is exactly what we're doing here. So I'm going to go ahead and read us this trickery energy, and let's just see where our story is going to revolve around, what kind of context this is going to revolve around. So this is the green chakra of the heart, and I know you're tired of hearing about it, maybe, I hope not, but the first key word is balance. Like, stop talking about balance, Ange. I know. Okay, but are we tricking ourselves and saying, but I am balanced, la la la, I don't want to hear about it? But it wouldn't keep coming up in the energy if it weren't the case, right? This is all a co-creation of a reading based on the energetics, as I was saying. If you're a subscriber, if I've ever done a reading for you, especially with Liz being here, you have been with us for over a year on a separate journey, now a whole different journey, more exciting journey. And that energy flows, right? It gets heightened, it gets amplified. So the manifesting intention of the fourth chakra, which is tomorrow, I do tend to be one day ahead of the energy. We're in the yellows of the solar plexus today. Tomorrow's green. And it's all about matters of the heart. And manifesting, we're always blocked if our heart is not in it. This is something y'all's heart isn't even in anymore. It not even be like that anymore, right? So this is something we've been hanging on to either out of habit and just tricking ourselves that there's some kind of loyalty owed there, or it really does feel like this block of growth, right? With the complacency is fear of stepping forward into something else. But much like the seasons, we're seeing it right here is the divide, moving from winter to spring. It's time for those seeds that we planted in the fall to come to harvest. And this red fiery energy being in the environmental at the bottom of the deck, that is what we're seeing here with this Aries solar eclipse Saturday morning. So let's see where else we go here. There is something very pivotal, how about pivotal about every green card, as though each one indicates a key moment of personal choice. The reading with the Lover's energy and all about the soul initiation, that was crazy this morning, you guys. And again, the Lover's energy used to be called the choice card, but what a lot of decks don't mention is that the choice has already been made by your soul. Okay. You decided with another soul that at some point along your soul's journey that there was a setup of some sort to get you to grow personally. This was for your growth. And you do generally see after a time of complacency, we've been talking about the pain of what it is going to become stronger than the fear of the pain of the new adventure. Okay. This is that time. And I typed in the notes today on my, I guess it's just considered a blog, I suppose. This is not a drill. Okay, everybody, this is not a drill. It is not a drill. Right. So this is a key moment of personal choice. They tell us about the heart of the matter. And in this chakra, we decide whether we will proceed or whether things will get kicked back down to our yellow chakra, where we spend time thinking about progressing our decisions. And how do we do that? Type it in the comments, guys. What is our rib cage, our solar plexus chakra? Ask us to question what? Let me know, what is that yellow chakra for? What is our rib cage likened to, especially if we have new subscribers coming in, help them out. Let's see. We decide whether or not things will get kicked back to our yellow chakra, where we spend time thinking without progressing our decisions. It's about what makes me happy, what brings me joy. And the old black and white movies where they're carrying sticks in the desert looking for water, they're looking for their water. We're looking for our cups. Do the cups I have, are they emitting joy? They either do or they don't. And if we start getting up into the thinking brain of it, well, there's our answer, because it's an immediate, in the first half second, we know the answer to that. The problem is that our brain gets a hold of it and starts rationalizing, right? Why something should or should not be so. So, in essence, we will see here whether our heart is truly invested in the actions we are willing to take. Every green card owns the distinction of revealing what happens when we do that or when we don't. Follow our heart. Are we going to allow the brain that's in the heart that talks to this one up here? Okay. This one talks first. Okay. And that joy informs, we have data to inform us or not, whether that brings us joy. It's immediate. We don't think about that. We feel it in our heart. Okay. The question these cards ask is, what is our heart trying to tell us? And how long has it been trying to tell us? How long have we been trying to rationalize what didn't feel good in our heart? Write down those excuses, because that is what they are. And the only person that those hurt is ourselves. Okay. And that's often not fun kind of energy to hear about or to think about, because when we can just kind of go through the motions of our day, keeping ourselves busy, the Two of Pentacles energy of spinning all the 100 plates instead of just the 5 we picked for that day, stuff gets pushed to the wayside, or heart gets pushed to the wayside. And yeah, I think so too, Peg. We're finally ready to listen to our own heart and not, be in the energy of watching all the women in our lives sacrifice themselves. I might just be speaking for myself, but generations. The woman stayed home and raised the family, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids in grandparents' generation. And then, boomer parents' generation, not as many kids, but they are learning to find themselves just now as we are along with us, because they were told what to think. They were pushed into, no, you can't do art as a career. That's never going to make you money. They were ingrained with these doctrines of should and shouldn'ts. Okay. And I was talking, who was I talking to about this the other day? Our generation pushes back. and goes, that doesn't make sense, or this doesn't make sense. No, I'm going to go my own way. And to them, it probably seemed, like, oh my gosh, you don't know what, so and so would say if I ever had that mouth. How many people, go ahead and show me how many people have ever been told, if I ever talk to my mother with that mouth, I might not, I don't even remember what it was, but maybe something to the reference of, I might not have any teeth. You know what I mean, right? Okay. Sorry for that. Not sorry for that little tangent. Y'all been here before. It comes along for the ride. So this is Kelly. This is Kelly, the green dragon. The tempter is as guilty as the thief. Get it a little bit closer in case you want to screenshot that or make it a little bit bigger to get your own messages of divination for you here. So, Kelly the Green Dragon has one jumbo sized acorn to get him through the winter. And Squirrel spies the huge acorn and decides he just has to have it to win the forest's annual acorn contest. To tempt Kelly, he fills a basket with rocks and scatters the tiny acorns he has collected on top. Kelly feels the weight of the basket and steals it, allowing Squirrel to grab the single acorn. But they both lose. Kelly now has less food, and Squirrel is disqualified from the contest for cheating. So during trying times, things may be easier if we ask for help. So don't be disappointed if assistance does not come from the place that we expect. Personal inquiry is, am I afraid to tell the truth before we even got to the card? Am I afraid of this truth, of what that means? What are the repercussions of me being happy and of me deciding that I need to renegotiate because this wasn't what I signed up for? It's not what the job application said. This is not the negotiation that we agreed upon at the beginning of this. This is not what it once was, whatever this situation is for you, or else the universe would not be initiating the universal Drano of this solar eclipse. Okay, that's there to help us. How does that fear about telling the truth? How does that fear make me manipulate others? And what do I really need to say? This is saying to someone, oh no, it's fine. Is it? I don't think it is, or it wouldn't be such a spinner in our brain here. So the key ideas are here of the dance of scarcity or coveting possessions, a vulnerable heart, having a vulnerable heart and seeing the strength and vulnerability. Our parents' generation didn't get to talk. Weren't asked how they were, maybe how their school day was, but it was never, let's sit down and talk about how life is going for you. How can you, with a house full of kids and constant, like there's one mom, and usually, the dad was out of the house all day. So mom has 10 jobs, and it's the check the box for, not to discount that. You got to keep the money coming in. But nowadays it's not the same dynamic. We don't need to marry other people in order to kind of have that safety and security. We can find that of our own accord. I do love the shift of being with someone because we want to, not because out of a necessity of need, and it's just smarter to get married or whatnot, and give up on my own dreams. Bye bye. Because once you got pregnant back in those days, that was it. Bye bye to your dreams. Not the case anymore. We have more of a village mentality where other people help. We could be even not even aware of either someone else's hidden motives or our own. The key words here are vision, honesty, and watching out for greed. The meditation is who do you identify with? Squirrel, the trickster, or Kelly, the greedy dragon? When you close your eyes, which one comes forward? Whoever it is, ask him what he is afraid of. Listen, then ask the great spirits for guidance. Their guidance may come during your meditation or at a later time. Let me know if on your spiritual walks or your nature walks, you find an acorn. I feel like that will be a sign of what is the nut that's really satisfying to me, and am I accepting rocks that I'm allowing myself to be tricking myself to tell myself that they're really acorns because I'm too scared about what it means about going to get my own acorns. Okay. Just a metaphor, but I feel like this is where that complacency energy of either the person around us or ourselves about seeing the truth of our heart, um, is coming to a close. It's coming to a close. I mean, that energy is not back around again for another 20 years of the solar eclipse in Aries. So it means something. And we are at the balsamic moon this week. Okay. All of the numerology, where the planets are sitting, have a look at my Cosmos overview, because it's just uncanny of how it's coming, how it just keeps showing up in our cards. Yeah. There's Mr. Ed. Hey, hey, hey. Thanks for coming in. Moni Moni. Nice to see you. Thank you guys. Miss Kath. I just love seeing everybody here. Thank you so much. Okay, so what we're going to do, your dentist will let you know if you're crunching rocks. Isn't the saying like, you got to go tell someone to kick rocks? What is it that before the universe puts the Drano down, on us? What is it that we need to kick rocks about? Okay, what is it that we need to kick rocks about? What cycle is a wrap? Okay, so Aries is first up here, impartiality. Okay, here is balance here. So anything, we saw that in the Ace of Swords this morning, or in the Justice energy. Didn't that justice energy with the waves that was coming in to knock the old way, the old thoughts, the old patterns that was weighing down the sword of truth, that wave is getting ready to come in and bring in the energy of balance by bringing in some kind of new truth, new aha moment. Aries eclipse right here. Okay, what about for Taurus? What energy or what cycle is a wrap? Oh my gosh, look at this, you guys. So if Aries is no longer going to pretend that it's fine and be impartial, Taurus, what energy is coming with is a wrap? Okay, maybe carrying the load. This is one person out of four carrying the balance or carrying the weight, trying to be the person that helps everybody get along while everybody else has their arms crossed, perhaps in complacency. They cannot get over that someone would maybe perhaps try to trick them. How dare they? Well, there's two pails here. Okay, there's two sides of that. How dare we allow ourselves to tell ourselves that it's fine? Remember, we learned something from the house and the sign previous. So a lot of you guys already know that I love when you bring your birth charts or having your birth charts right there as we go through this. We start with our finger on Aries, and you're going to follow your chart counterclockwise to see where this particular energy might be having a wrap for you. So in the house, wherever your Taurus energy sits, if you're always the peacemaker while everybody else kind of crosses their arms and pretends that, well, you always do it, so why wouldn't you keep doing it? If you're the peacemaker and you're the balance maker in that life area, that is the energy of, share the load there. You don't always have to be the only one taking the helm and doing all the work. Okay. Gemini energy. Here's that growth again. We did just have Jupiter click over into the next Sabian lesson of 16 Gemini. And that one, we are still in the theme of participation. And that one is being confident in our sense of self so that we can be open to persuasion. When we have enough confidence and stop tricking our mind that it's fine, then we can start to let that persuasion of it's going to be fine. It's going to be better than fine on the other side of this. Whatever needs to be released and let go of, the universe is draining out of our lives for a reason. Okay, whether that's a habit within our own selves, our way of being, our traditional thoughts that become things, we're understanding that that doesn't serve us, because we then bring about the energy that we're focused on. So Gemini, this is growth, growing that confidence. So wherever Gemini sits in your own chart, for me, that is going to be half of my 11th house of community, friends, and good fortune. So I'm happy to see that, because it has taken quite a lot of confidence just to be on here and be me and all of my ridiculousness and silliness. But that's who I am. So, but at first it's very nerve wracking. You don't, especially if you're not used to being on camera or anything like that. It's not, it ain't easy being cheesy. Okay. So Cancer. We saw this card earlier with the prayer situation, making lemonade out of lemons, and understanding that we can. This is about being able to change our mind. So this was the story about of always, dreaming of this big city life, but then ending up, in country life and loving it just as much. There's some strategy energy here with that checkerboard tablecloth. And it's greatest American hero energy, on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. Okay, so again, learning from the sign previous to that, that growth is allowing us to go, okay, with that Jupiter energy, our confidence in ourselves, we are open to other ways that we can be happy. There's not just one way. And with our Cancer energy, we also clicked over to the new lesson. And this is about learning the mystery within the hidden language of images and metaphors. So this whole chakra deck is about metaphors, and any of these symbols that you see, maybe lemonade, maybe you'll sit down to dinner at a red and white checkerboard table and you're like, I got to go look, rewind or go back and look at that Cancer section of the reading, because this is a sign for me that it's okay to change my mind. Okay, they happen in all kinds of ways. What about for Leo? What is Leo? What cycle is a rat? The graveyard of the old fill in the blank. Okay, this is an energy of release, and very interesting that this is going to be my fire column, and they're coming up in the gray energies, or the crown chakra. So this is their sun coming through there. This is letting sleeping dogs lie. And we are finally ready to not continue to think about things that are dead from the past, whatever that is for you. That could be people, that could be wrongs that we've held on to and not been able to transmute the pain of. They're still coming out as anger. They're still coming out as a reaction instead of a response. Okay, that's a sign for us. That is a, instead of little popcorn kernels leaving a trail. It's like there's a graveyard here of energies and of, even thoughts, that swords energy, that steel, of what needs to be released and let go of and put to rest. No longer, that kind of that Five of Cups energy of don't look back in anger, because then we just get the lesson again in a different way. And if we truly want to, if we're tired of some of the cycles, if we're tired of learning that lesson over and over, and it's like no matter what happens, it just keeps coming back, um, it reminds me of being younger and, having girlfriends saying, I feel like I've got, loser written on across to my forehead. And it's just like, come on down, every loser here. Come ask me out, like a loser magnet, right? These look like a bunch of little magnets there. And we create this little collection that, things that should be buried. Maybe it's a cycle of, negative thoughts on repeat that we need to really investigate. There's some avoidance here of why we have not let that go. The sun has been trying to shine through for the sun, for the sign of Leo, right? That is the house of creativity, romance, and pleasure. Leo energy dominates there. And when we are holding on to this, our hand is full of those stones, okay, not acorns. Okay, let's go get those acorns instead. All right, let's look at our next section. So move your finger from Leo. That's a place you need release from. So for example, that's my first house of self. And I am guilty as anything. You have to, it's a habit. It's not, you don't do it on purpose, but if we start getting in that ruminating energy, there's little tricks. Liz and I talked about the rubber band. She's like, oh my gosh, I used to do that too. It took about a year for me to stop going into that negative thought pattern. Little tricks, like I mentioned this morning, of follow that negative thought or that frustration by yet, go to the opposite feeling that you want to have. And then that is what we want to attract. So right away, we got to try to cancel out that order before the waitress goes to put the order in. Wait, come back, come back. Actually, I would like, universe, the opposite of whatever this needs to be so that that sun can come down on you, okay, in that life area of your chart. Now, for moving into our earth column here, I said air because it's purple. Looks like maybe the earth energies, that does not surprise me at all, of always being the peacekeeper, being the one to hold the balance for everybody else. Well, then it throws ourselves off balance, right? And for Virgo's section here, we've got a big key and it says recovery. Recovery. So there is a spirit here. There is the keyhole to the door, the shape of that portal energy we looked at this morning. There's a key to recovery here, and spirit is trying to show you that. It is a purple key as well. That is our third eye chakra. And the spirit is blue. So if you can see that that's associated with the throat chakra, there are messages trying to come in. So look at the Virgo section of your chart, which is third house. For me, it's going to be about communication. So this is how we use all of them. We're not just taking one little piece of the pie, because our life is the whole pie, right? We're not just going to cherry pick, and fast forward or, go to just those key points, because we are all those things, right? We are so much more than just our sun sign. So Virgo, what cycle is a wrap? Perhaps your recovery from being the fixer, right? That could very well be here. And there's a wrap on an old way that you used to recover, and there's a new way. There's spirit trying to show you a different way. That's what's key here. There's a different way. What about for my line of air? Isolation here. I would just mention the blue throat chakra. So this blueberry dude has this gorgeous tux in the closet, but he never goes anywhere. He never gets it out because it's too nice to wear. Wear the damn tux. I don't care if you're going to Fuddruckers, if that's even still around. That's how much I go to dinner. I don't care where you're going. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's Mickey D's, but get polished, get dressed up just because it makes you feel good. So Libra energy, wherever that is sitting in your chart for you, um, isolation coming to a close. Okay, I know a lot of us, do love our hermit state, but if you're in here, the same kind of weather that I'm experiencing, the 4 seasons, we're coming into spring here. So other side of the world will be moving into their fall. But again, it's a cycle. So a cycle of isolation is coming to a close. Okay, and a cycle also of I'm not gonna use the fancy tea set for dinner just for myself. Why not? Why not? It doesn't need to sit and look pretty in a cabinet. Use it. It's meant to be used, okay? So this is about enjoying the things that we do have in the 3D, enjoying relationships, and our area of growth here. It's like, okay, it's time for my energy to get some air on it. It's time to use my voice again. It's time to have a conversation other than the one I have with myself on a daily basis, right? What about for our water section here of Scorpio? Okay, back up to that third eye. Even if you don't love me anymore, forgiveness. This is healing of childhood wounds. This is healing of judgment. This rhino has been judged because she was, she looks scary. Didn't I talk about that last week? Because we had the rhino charm, and then it came out. It was so cute. He had like a little ring, a little crown on his front horn. And I was like, actually, when you watch their pack animals and when you watch them play, it is the cutest freaking thing ever. But on first appearance, you're like, oh, it's scary. Or that could be even our own energy of being standoffish, right? Just as a personal, we think it protects us, right? Or pushing people away before they can hurt us. And this is about appearances aren't everything, and have a look at the way that we are allowing ourselves to be seen. So this beautiful purple rhino wouldn't have any of that. So this little boy was missing in this story, and when they found the little boy, here this rhino found him and was protecting him with her strength and love the entire time as he was fast asleep. So it feels like for Scorpio here, either first appearances or this judgment about the way we thought something was, because it's connecting to this. We can change our mind, right? Even if we thought, oh, I'm going to be a city person for the rest of my life, how do you know that you don't thoroughly enjoy the country, right? And we're getting a ding on that. Thank you, Scam Likely. So we got a ding on how do you know that you don't like something completely different? You might love it more. Okay. So something on first appearance might actually be really good for us here in that Scorpio section of our chart. That is the house of secrets. It is the house of sex. It is the house of deep desire. I don't think they say it like that, but I mean, I just did so. And I'm going to be me. All right. So let's come back over here to our fire section. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Angie and I'm a little bit different. Okay. Here in our fire, it does not shock me at all. I never met a boring Sagittarius. Passion. So the story about not being able to do what you're passionate about because of, that's never going to make you money, or you have roles to fulfill here. So in this story, this princess has been told that she most certainly cannot be a writer because she has a house to run. She has a duty to fulfill as princess. She has engagements. She has parties to be at. She has a whole freaking schedule that someone else has made for her. So, Sag, this is about you finding a different way. You still gotta be you, right? So follow that passion. And if you wanna write, or if you want to do some kind of project where they're like, no, that's not practical, pshaw. That is pshaw. Absolutely not. I feel like this is a way we can balance our energy. We need to release here, take a note from Leo, release the opinions of others. Trust your own solar plexus. That is where we're going to take action, is through that joy. So, because we did talk this morning about, name something that would bring you joy, something easy. Let me know if you did your assignment in the comments. Let me know if you did that. Ange, I thought it would bring me joy to pick up some flowers at the grocery store so I can have them just all for myself today. Check your box. Okay. Then we start even trusting ourselves more that, hey, we deserve this. It's a reminder that our passions are what gives us fire and what leads that, right? What fills our tank here. And she's doing it anyway. So she wrote her book and she's sharing it with other people. Here, she's being of service and sharing her stories for humanity, sharing stories for the good of everyone. She's in a nursing home here, sharing and bringing joy to others. And at the same time, so she's still doing what her parents wanted her to do, which is the duties of a princess, but she's doing it her own damn way. Okay. So I think that feels like a pretty strong message for Sag here. Okay, wherever that is in your chart, that would be my fifth house. So, doing things in your own damn way and still checking the box for what you need to do, okay, for the community, or for your lineage. If there's a family business, for example, that you are assumed to take over, or that choice has been made for you, whatever that is, make it your own. If it's really not something that you can get out of, and you don't feel passion for, I mean, I don't think I could do something I didn't feel passion for. But if it's out of obligation or out of duty, you've got to find a way to make it your own still. Okay. Let's look then next, coming back into our earth line here, which we're getting third eye vibes from the whole time. So Capricorn, boy, oh boy, are those ghosts talking to you in your head. Okay. These are only whispers. These don't even exist. These are the fears that we were talking about here in the Leo energy of forming a whole ass graveyard. So this is but it'll make you feel good. God, we talked about this earlier. This guy looks like old John Lennon to me. He didn't get to be that old, unfortunately, but the round glasses. He's holding a can of paintbrushes, and he has one of those things, canvases all around him. This is, you're not really that good. Nobody's going to buy your stuff. Nobody's going to like what you write. Why are you even trying? Okay. That needs to have a wrap ASAP, Capricorn energy, wherever that is in your chart. Follow it around again. What are you rejecting or telling yourself you're not good at, but you freaking are. You know you are. It's just your mind. Okay. And that stinking thinking is just going to keep adding more of those rocks into our basket instead of the acorns that lead to a whole new last tree, right? What about for our last line of air here? Okay, guilt. So, what is a wrap? Aquarius energy? Guilt. She's chained to that ironing board, and there's someone in the background there that's looks like they've been on a bender. It just does. I don't know where that came from. I mean, she's like either asleep or, not doing anything, not helping, not contributing. And we did see this starting up here in the fixed energy. So Aquarius is also a fixed sign. You don't have to be the savior for everyone holding everything together. And you certainly shouldn't be doing anything out of guilt or, like we said over here, out of a sense of loyalty or the shoulds, right? Our soul came here to serve our best and highest good. And that may or may not include some kind of legacy here that does not belong to you or isn't the right fit, right? Sagittarius is about that temperance energy, that right puzzle piece, that right fit. So release that guilt wherever that Aquarius energy is in your chart for you, that life area. There's something that you're changed to here, and the other person is not lifting a damn finger. Okay. Are we doing things because we really want to, or are we doing it out of guilt? So this could be a growth area for you here in this life area of your chart. What do we feel changed to here that has maybe even kept us isolated, because that's a lot of work? What about your own growth, right? What about you? What about your energy? And I really do feel like that this cycle, that's why it feels like such a doozy. We feel like something's coming, and that might be giving us a little bit of anxiety, but it's really is a good thing. It's a wrap on energy that is throwing you out of balance so that you can come back into your own balance, which is going to increase your vibrational frequency, therefore everyone around you and everyone around you and everyone around you. The vibrational frequency of the planet, one healed heart at a time, is my prayer every single day. Even if it's just one, that is okay. That checks my box. All right. And at the very end here, Pisces, what cycle is a wrap? And it is bookending the orange energy over here. I love this. Self-worth. I love that chair. You probably heard me talk about my orange couch and my orange chair. I love, 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 love. It's about this color, a little bit brighter, that color orange. And I talked also about the iceberg of that Page of Swords. There's so much more to you and your creativity here. Look at all the white and the ice. I'm getting a squeeze. That iceberg around her, and then that's that pop of color. That is our sacral chakra, our fire here, our passion. Our self-worth is going to be increased, bookending here, by sitting on that orange chair creativity, right? That's where I feel like this is like a little key. I'm being pulled back over here to the key. All right, let me look quickly at the fixed energies. So we have Taurus of balance. We have Leo of release. We have forgiveness, book ending Leo here of release and forgiveness. I mean, again, even if You don't love it anymore. It's fine, right? And then finally, the guilt, releasing guilt, forgiving so that we can bring our lives back into balance. And those fixed energies, those all coordinate together. And then for cardinal energy, we would have Aries book ending Cancer here, impartiality and prayer. Again, this is like a big move kind of energy. You might, even if you never saw yourself there, you might love it. Okay. It might be like, okay, it's just like it is here. And you're like, at least I don't hate it. But I do feel like Aries is number one to have their mouth closed when they're asked for an opinion on something. So I don't see those energies fighting against each other though. It's just like, okay, you are saying your opinion here in those cardinal, that leadership energy. Now, we also need to look at Libra as the other cardinal sign, as well as so Aries and Libra, Cancer and Capricorn. Prayer and rejection here. Something isn't what you think it is. Okay. It's not as bad as you think, or you just don't have the context with which to form an opinion because we're up in your head about it. Right. Or we're not giving an opinion at all. And then we get what we get and we don't throw a fit. So, cardinal sign, that Aries eclipse is like, if we have ever had any kind of trouble not stating our opinion or taking the lead. What is that card for the moon? Time to take action with with that Aries eclipse. This is a powerful change, you guys. Expect it. And then finally, our mutable energies are going to be Pisces, the self-worth energy here, Virgo, recovery. And we also have, so Pisces and Virgis. Pisces and Virgis are the nodes right now. Okay. There are more than one way. There's a whole different key that you don't know about yet. Someone's going to tell you about it. Increase in self-worth here, mutable energy. Tapping into that spirituality aspect. And then we also would be needing to look at, we got Pisces, Virgo, mutable, Gemini, and Gemini, Virgo. Where am I missing here? Mutable energy. Pisces. Sag is mutable. Okay. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Mutable energy, where we can sway, where we can go, okay, that punch out list, that's just a small item. These are like little changes that can make a big difference. Okay. Self-worth, being connected to our passion. If you're bored, there's a reason that what came up in the conversation, right, and then was repeated to me today, was because you're not connected to your passion. If nothing's happening, nothing's going on, what can you ignite within you to get on that, in that hot seat there? Keep wanting to growth and recovery. Let me look at what this green story is here. What I do with my book, the chakra story. So we've got this trickster because I want to look at the green heart since that is coming up tomorrow. And since we already have what that theme denotes, separating wheat from the chaff. All right. This card implies personal commitment and following one's heart, the grass. That is a growth energy, right? Especially if you've always gone along to get along. Honoring our growth, the growth of others, and there's a sense of courage and abundance and an ability to stand tall. The recovery from you know, some stagnant energy here. This is a time to uphold what your heart knows is true. Okay, big time energy, all of it relates to each other. Okay, I hope that little flyby helped you out. Let me know. I love orange. Yeah. Love me some orange. And look, there's green on the bottom. So environmental energy, if there's a victim or victimhood around you, or we have a mindset, and this is what we need to leave in the past. We're still pissed off about something. We have not transmuted that energy, right? We take what we can from the situation. It's happening for us, not to us. If you remember in this story, look at that. We even have Kelly the dragon back and the squirrel. And this is about Acorn being promised a part, but then, he thought he was getting the lead role. And then when he gets there, the producer just gave him some, tiny little side part, but he made the most of it. And he got another lead and got someone else, a big time producer was there, saw him in his little part, and then his manifestation happened anyway. We need to use the energy while it's here in the cycles for us. This is about tricking our own mind that, there's acorns. There's plenty of acorns in those baskets when really they're just rocks, and no longer complacent to pretend that they are rocks. Okay, hope that helps. Go ahead, guys, and put in the comment box if you would like me to answer a question for you. It'll help me out if you have a colored heart there, if you can, just to make it stand out. You don't have to write your question. You can just think it. But if you want to ask a specific question, then certainly go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and get our advice here for each of the signs. Maybe what is advice from spirit here? The only flipper. Stop repeating the same patterns over and over and expecting a different result. It's exhausting. Okay, that is not what our soul came here to do. It is a choice. There's our lover's energy. Can't make it up. Okay. All right. Queen of Wands on the bottom there. More Aries and Scorpio energy due to Mars. All right. What is advice from spirit? Let me look at my question again. Okay. Because of the 30 degrees Pisces being so heavy, becoming whatever we idealize, how or what action can Aries take to become whatever they idealize instead of being so agreeable or, be in Switzerland, with everything having to be perfect, maybe even the Hanged Man energy of the 180. So what is coming? What is it? What is a wrap? Where you're not sharing your opinion on something, where you're actually weighing in and not saying, I don't care what everybody else wants to do. Doesn't sound very much like Aries to me, but there you have it. It just, again, we all have that energy in different parts of our chart. So it just depends what life area that energy is sitting in for you. Yeah. Having having a 180 or a whole different frame of mind about something that fell apart. Okay, a tower moment, a shock, a surprise, crossing energy there. What about for Taurus? What action could Taurus take to become what they idealize? So Aries, you might just need to put a plug in something, put a pause on it. It's like creativity, especially with that. There's a spider web around her to denote creativity, and this is bookending passion down here. All right, Taurus energy. What action can you take to become what you idealize? Major arcana much? Creatrix. It's the energy of the magician, the new start, all 4 aces of potential. The world is not going to fall apart if you are not there keeping everything exactly on your list of the way that you like things and how things feel comfortable for you. They're saying put a little flair to it there in that Taurus part of your chart. Page of Wands, throw caution to the wind, put a little flair to it, right? Give it some fire. Okay. What about for Gemini? What can Gemini do what action can they take to become whatever they idealize? Rise above that watery energy to Taurus. Like that is divine. That's getting in your soul's chariot. And that is a blend of beautiful masculine and feminine energy. There's a Merkaba right above her there, our soul chariot. All right, Gemini, 9 of Swords, 7 of Swords. Interesting. And we have growth here. Okay, crossed by 8 of Wands. 7, 8, 9, huh? Or here, 9, 7, 8. If that resonates for anyone, maybe it's even an address. But what actions can we take to grow, to become what we idealize in that Gemini part of your chart? We talked about Jupiter gaining a sense of confidence, being open to persuasion, open to growth, open to separating the wheat from the chaff. So what actions can you take is to look up from all the burdens that are across your lap and see the answers right there on the wall in it's actually a map out of the prison of your own mind. Again, it's connecting me over here to this Virgo energy. Don't know why, just is. Not even the same color, but it's a key here. Oh, a key, a way out, a map, a way out, something you haven't seen yet. Okay, 7 of Swords. Who needs to grow? I don't need to grow. I don't need anything to change. Doesn't sound much like Gemini. Gemini's super, well, mutable. They're like, okay, what's next? I'm down for anything usually. Well, maybe I want to get a clarifier on that. 8 of Wands crossing. Oh, never mind. Okay, I got you, Spirit. So in most decks, you see the 8 of Wands hurling towards the ocean or towards our cups, towards our emotions, right? Passionate communication about emotion. This deck, it's more of a 6 of Swords energy, pulling you out of wherever you're at, because this is stagnant. This is a choice. A lot of swords. I mean, it is Gemini, sword energy, right? Knight of Swords. Which is also unusual for Gemini. Knight of Swords wants to go, right? They can be like interested in one thing one day and then off on a whole new ball game the next day. So this feels a little unusual for Gemini energy. It's wherever you feel like you're kind of being dragged. Okay, you're being dragged to grow. Again, all of us have Gemini in our chart. Where are you resisting change? Where are you resisting growth? Where are you continuing to look at the negative of something or hold pain because it wasn't the situation that you thought it was? This person or place, whatever that noun was for you, was wearing a mask. But with the 7 of Swords, it is for your greater good to get out of that 9 of Swords, that rumination and stinking thinking, even if you have to be yanked out of the house to do so. Okay. It's like you're going to be forced to grow in that life area of your chart, no matter what. 10 of Cups right underneath where they're yanking you to, though. I like them apples connecting to that Gemini power card of the Lovers. This habit might be, it's a hard habit to break. You're a hard habit to break if that's a person. Well, it's on to the next, because your lesson with whatever that was is done. Okay. All right, let's look at Cancer. What actions can Cancer take to become what it is they idealize? High Priestess. You already know this. Okay. The action you can take is to connect to divine energy, esoteric knowledge, especially if you are looking at a complete change of life. What you don't know yet. I think you're imagining that it's going to be, that you might not like it. And I think we should not make that assumption. Crossed by the King of Swords, tying into Aquarian energy over here. You don't have to be tied to that opinion. You don't have to be tied to that noun, person, place, or thing. Okay. Right away, Leo. Nine of Pentacles, King of Swords again, crossed by the Gemini or the Knight of Swords. Release this guilt. If those cemetery backgrounds, right? This is what really wants to come out. What actions can you take? This is a pillar of the society. You're not seeing your own truth of your greatness here in that Leo part of your chart because you're allowing old ghosts to take over. So the action you should take is making sure that you are setting yourself up to be this pillar to for this transformation. It's like she has wings of Isis or butterfly wings wanting to transform, but until you come out of the cocoon, okay, this feels a little bit like, but I don't want to be a butterfly. I'm comfortable being a caterpillar. You don't have any choice. The truth of it is you're being called to something way bigger here, and this Bolsheviks is holding you back. Okay. All right. And your energy wants to go. All right. This is thoughts. Again, that's a lot of telling yourself that you can't for whatever reason. What about Virgo? What actions can Virgo take? What actions can Virgo take to become what they idealize? Proper manifestation. So that ship is coming in. And remember, we got this recovery energy. There's just a key that you haven't thought of or you haven't been shown yet. Celery colored energy manifestation. That is the expectation that this key, you expect it. You know it's coming. You're already manifesting the result that you want to have. I like it. That ship will come in when it's like you put the manifestation out there and then you put your order in and you go about your daily business, taking even one step a day towards the feelings that you want to feel, that you expect to come in, and then the universe obliges. It's fated. Wheel of Fortune. When you change the energy around you changes, then this key comes. All right. Isolation is what cycle is a wrap for Libra. And what action can you take to become what you idealize? Be the partner that you want to have come to you. Okay. This is a balance of energy. And I was talking the other day about, Libras, especially if you're Libra rising. People think, oh, it's the scale. They're always balanced. They search for balance. Okay. So, especially with that being the south node of that Aries energy in balance, it's like that's where we check the box of that nodal lesson. In the Libra portion of your chart, what you want wants you. You have to, if you want peace, then you have to be peaceful. If you want ease and joy, then you have to emulate ease and joy. You have to create that for yourself, and then it vibrationally pulls in. What about for Scorpio? What actions can Scorpio take here to finally release and let go, get that forgiveness energy. Try that Ho'oponopono. We were talking about it this morning. What actions can Scorpio take? What do we need to forgive here? Release and let go. Appearance, on first appearance, it might feel scary, or you maybe think that people are getting the wrong idea, you're misunderstood. What action can you take? More high priestess energy underneath the high priestess. So here in the water column, two major arcana here for Scorpio. So that's as if it just came right out of the cosmos. This is the chariot energy of our head and heart aligning. You see the yin and the yang there, masculine, feminine, and she is holding the two sides of herself, Cancerian energy. And when our head and our heart is aligned, when we allow the heart and the brain to speak to the head and take priority there, the brain will comply. Okay. It's the heart that decides. And when we forgive, our soul chariot takes off. This was a missing piece of the puzzle. Okay. Archangel Michael, these are both soulmate cards here. And especially since we got Lover's energy on the bottom. Remember, the wrap of that Aries cycle is the end. It's wrapping up that North and South node, Aries Libra, where we had to come into balance of leaving behind any kind of codependency, putting others' needs in front of our own that we watched our whole lives, probably other people doing. Crossed by Queen of Pentacles. It's no accident, it's bookending the Nine of Pentacles. This is the next step onto Empress energy after the Nine of Pentacles. When we put these things in the graveyard, they're pinging off a Leo, especially something stubbornly held on to, right? Okay, there's that Jupiter 2 of the rabbit in the bottom. What about for Sagittarius? What actions can Sagittarius take to become whatever they idealize? What actions can Sag take to become what they idealize? That creative energy, tapping into our passion. So a cycle that's coming to a close is the dreaded shoulds. Okay, it doesn't matter that you're a princess and you have those obligations. You can still do them in your own spin, your own damn way. World card energy. That cycle of you doing just because you've been told so is over. Using your voice, writing the story, okay, taking fast action after that cycle of the dreaded shoulds is closed. Gemini energy here, tying over into the Two of Cups of balance, coming out of isolation, maybe even, and moving fast. Once that door closes, it's like off to races, and there's divine feminine and masculine energy coming out of the top of her head there as well. And that was following Scorpio energy. That's amazing. Once you got in that chariot, it was like boom, done. Cycle closed. Okay. What about Capricorn? Capricorn, what actions can Capricorn take to become what they idealize? Certainly not listening to those ghosts in your head. That cycle's coming to a close. Us not having confidence in our art. Right underneath Virgo, working together. There's the Hermit. And I love this deck because she's in a lavender dress and she's looking at her own reflection as the Hermit's at the top of the hill looking down on his own life. I love it because she's holding a flame. It's a violet flame connected to the third eye. We saw all that purple energy. What actions can you take? Review. Okay, we don't have to wait until we're in front of the Golden Gates to do our past life review or anything. We can do that anytime we like. This is taking an honest assessment so that we can have some confidence here and not tell ourselves untruths. Whatever this assessment is, you were fated to come to that conclusion. That's what changes your energy. So divine timing, there's no such thing as when is so-and-so coming in? When are they going to call? When is that job going to come through? The only thing that changes that, getting out of the stinking thinking, energy first. Our body and our energy decides what energetics happen around us. Balancing here with the bookend of balance. You don't have to do everything for everyone. Use your resources so that we're not so exhausted here, and look at where we've done that before. This feels like a pretty big lesson there for Capricorn of taking on too much. All right, let's finish up here with our Aquarius. What actions can Aquarius take? 5 of Wands on the side. Jealousy, strife, and competition. Cutting off our nose to spite our own face. Okay, stabbing our own selves in the back, or constantly feeling paranoid. Like sacrificing our own. Again, with this guilt card here, that cycle's coming to a close of what we've been chained by. So what action can I take is, traditionally we see that one team member is climbing to the top of the pile to be the showboater because he doesn't understand the phrase, there's no I in team. This is doing things out of guilt, is cutting off our nose to spite our own face. Doesn't do anybody any good. Crossed by 3 of Pentacles. This could have been a new start to something that started off really good. It felt like victory. Okay, crossed by 3 of Pentacles. Why is 5 of Wands here? Fighting with yourself. Again, it feels kind of tied over there to the dreaded shoulds, because that's what's expected of me. A little bit of twin energy there, because the head that person's cutting off is her own. Okay, if we are showboating and hogging the ball and the team loses, then you get to take all the blame then too, right? I guess. All right. I can't get a strong, what actions can we take? Are you being blamed? Is this an area of life that you're like being held accountable, or being blamed of like of the why everything's gone wrong? It sounds a little dramatic, to be honest here. Ace of Pentacles on the top, guilt about you're supposed to be the provider. This feels pretty masculine here. What are you chained to? What are we doing out of guilt that actually is not your best and highest good? You're only hurting yourself and your actual 3D rewards coming in, because you're doing it for other people. That doesn't include passion then, if we're doing something out of obligation and guilt. That Ace of Pentacles can be like a year to get there. Give me more on this 5 of Wands for Aquarius energy, wherever that is in their chart. Give me a message that everybody will understand here. What actions stop doing things out of guilt? That's all I keep getting. Okay. Allow spirit to move you to calmer waters. Yeah, where that I said, it feels like really masculine, like kind of aggressive here. And there's a bit of a head burying in the plumage of this peacock feathers, even though they're black and white, because she's spirit. Whatever we don't want to see. Is that why we cut our own head off? Is that why we're chained to that obligation? Yeah, the jealousy, strife, competition. Spirit's trying to take you out of it. So let it. Allow your intuition. If something's telling you something's not right and you are not happy, listen. Okay. 4 of Swords. This is not a happy situation. Whatever's happening in this part of your chart, guys. This is about taking back your power with that Black Panther up top. I said it feels a little like twins. Because we have at the bottom of the deck here, this is the divine feminine and the divine masculine energy in the cosmos. Look, their faces looking to each other. This is healing emotions and allowing spirit to talk to the top of her head here. Okay. I just said, tap into your spiritual guidance. This is something you already like divinely know you need to get away from, even if you have to be pulled by the universe to heal it. Okay. The universe abhors imbalance. And if we didn't do it, it's getting done for us. Finish us out with Pisces here, ending a cycle of not seeing their self-worth in that life area of our chart. Wherever that is for you, what actions can we take in the Pisces life area of our own charts that will end this cycle of not seeing our value? 3. I didn't do countdowns for any other one. Right here, it said, okay. Did you lose your ever turning dream? Did you lose sight of that? It's been planted here all along, and look at those color energies here. But for whatever reason, we were not, it's like, oh, this creative outlet is being shown to you now. And this has been a long time coming. Pisces, becoming what we idealize. You got it here in the sauce. A little bit of waiting energy, again, connected to Jupiter. Page of Swords on the bottom. There might be some learning or some forgiveness needed, especially right here above with that waterline of Scorpio. Page of Swords, Ten of Swords, something you've been resisting, fighting against. There's the eclipse energy up in the top of that, card. Resisting where this growth is trying to take you because of self-worth issues, not feeling like our dream is practical or is a real thing. If you've thought it, it's already in the vortex. This kind of feels like in the environmental energy, but what would other people say? This might hurt somebody else, or we're still getting over betrayal that has lowered our self-worth. Underneath that, it was to teach us to stop struggling with our inner balance, because if we did not like whatever, if we did not like this life prior to the eclipse or whatever that was in that life area for you here, it's something you were fighting against. But it was really our own inside that was out of alignment. And we're too worried about, either our self-worth was low, our energy, our vibe was low in that part of our chart because someone betrayed us here. Page of Swords, Ten of Swords, whoever did that, if that's resonating for you in that part of your chart, this was a very immature, gossipy person. Who cares? I mean, that's the least, it's the freshman of the pages, right? You're trying to be pulled towards, out of that cocoon. Might be have to be pulled out by your ears towards happiness and towards the Empress. I mean, this has been what's percolating all along. We talked this morning. It's the last lesson of the entire zodiacal wheel, and some of y'all are going kicking and screaming, but we're going. But we're going. Leave those being pulled over here to that Leo energy of the graveyard. Let sleeping dogs lie. And if there's amends that you need to make, that have been delaying or making you wait on this dream because it's dropped someone else's self-worth, for example, even if you didn't realize it, there's more under the iceberg, right? You only know the tip of something. make that resolution so that those karma hands don't come around and catch you off guard. All right, guys, I'm going to go back through and look for. I hope that helped you. We are ready for personal questions. I hope that let me know if any of those or some of those or most of those resonated for you. I hope there was something in there for at least everyone, especially because we all have all that energy in our own personal charts. Okay, let me see here. Scrolling. I don't see any hearts yet. I thought I did earlier. People saying hey and hi. I appreciate that. I love that you guys take care of each other so well. Can we lasso Venus and drag it direct already? The retrograde is driving you start crazy. I know. It's because of that window inside the window, right? I feel like it'll ease as soon as Mercury comes out of retrograde, which I think is next Tuesday. And then this past Saturday, we were at the halfway mark. So by next Saturday, we'll be 7 off of 20. So less than 2 weeks away after Saturday to be done with that Venus retrograde. So that's a good question. Finally ready to listen. That is right. Absolutely. Yep. Hey, Moni. I think I said hi. Yep, to care for the elders in the family, we sacrifice our time, energy, money, resources. Yeah. Yeah. You were mouthy too. Sorry, Mom. I know I was a mouth. I know y'all find that very hard to believe, by the way. Pretend you do. You saw a squirrel on your walk today? That is awesome. No oak trees in Vegas. That's because you go with the flow. It's the mutable energy. That's the Empress energy, right? Being able to weigh the situation and roll with it. Yep. I'm ready for it's like bring on those snapping bring on the clapper. Those are those little and action or cut things, right? In case you didn't know, it's not a commercial where you clap your hands. I'm not seeing any separate question, guys. Other people's instructions. Okay, here we come into our after Ed loving the orange along with me. I love me some orange. Definitely a lot to do with the sacral chakra too here, as far as that tail end of the zodiacal wheel and coming back around to the Pisces fire again. All right, guys. Let's see. Let me get into the question for Miss Judy. I'm going to go ahead and clear. Go ahead and put your question in the bottom or your heart. Just make sure I know you're there. If this is where you are bidding me adieu, that is totally fine. If you don't have a question, we do invite you to continue to hang out with us here because everybody's just so wonderful and it's fun. So why not? All right, guys. Certainly too, we do this every Thursday, so email me if there's a certain question you think others in the collective would like answered. I'm happy to ask the entire zodiacal wheel. So let's see where we go here. Miss Judy, so in reverse, okay, 13 energy, the dream thief, refusal of the call, but it was in reverse. So protection message here. You ain't refusing the call anymore. You're going with it. You're holding on to that magic ball. Think that was you that I just read, right? Where like our obligation kind of with being the caretaker is over. Now we can step into our own sense of dreams. No more flying monkeys, whatever that means. Okay, hollow bone, teachability on the bottom of the deck, a 28, Wheel of Fortune energy. And we see that circle of the manifestation of what we're creating. And there's those ancestors there in the back with those, with the elk antlers. So now is the time to go, Judy. So whatever there's going to be something that comes to you that you would have normally said no to in the past. And you're going to say yes, girl. I'm going to say yes. All right. Let's see. I see. Thank you, Peg, for noting. Jennifer, Judy coming in. Thank you, Miss Kathy, with your green heart here. Your question, 21 energy. The three of today, energetics. This is first breath. Beginner's mind, new start all over the place here. Okay. This is the shaman's oracle. So these are pretty popular cards nowadays. If you want further, they're like 2 pages that you can read. There's this new start happening here for you, Kath. Beginner's mind. It's a first breath of stepping into the new of something. It feels good. What's this crossbite? Yeah. Stepping into the new because you've closed the old door. You're no longer perpetuating a cycle here. You're welcoming the change. And it feels like a breath of fresh air. It feels like my chest feels lighter. Whatever that is for you. Okay. Don't let the door slam them in the ass. Is that how that says? Is that how that saying goes? Don't let the door hit you in the ass, kind of thing. Yeah. All right. Let's come back over into Miss Ash, please. I love that handle, Nova Soul Star. Question, a Q&A for Miss Nova, please. Whatever her question is, best and highest good. We got this not yesterday, I think, but the day before. You might want to go back and check out that reading or re-look at it if you already have, because we've got Cosmic Womb here, the divine feminine energy. It's a 6 card of the Lovers, which we saw for the whole zodiacal wheel here, and the environmental energy. This could be a choice being made here. And of course, the womb is of the creation. That's the sacral chakra. This could be even a point of surrender as well that brings in this choice. Crossed by fates, yeah. A point of surrender, just waiting on you to release and let go of something else so that this new space can be filled by the universe. Skywriting the fates. I forget where they showed up in the bottom of the deck, and then again on the top for other signs, so that might help be specific here to what's being created in what life area. If anybody takes notes or kind of jots what's going on for each sign. Okay. I don't know why I want to. Yeah, a sacred contract. That Lover's energy is coming through there pretty strong for you, Ash. Okay, and it's a progression, 6 to a 7. Yeah. Okay, Ed, we are still waiting on our weekly advice. I am in love with that. I really think you should do that. I would tune in for sure. I would absolutely tune in. Let's get a card for Ed. What does Ed need to know here today from the Shaman's Dream Oracle? Getting 6s. Stability coming in. Structure. A new structure. Are you moving? Chutes and ladders. There's like a slide. I don't know if you're gonna see, if I saw a physical slide, and like, you know how just zoop, and it's fast. Why a slide? A choice sounds like it's going to take you, 6, I told you, 33. Joyful muse, inspiration. That's my Elton John cat. I love his glasses. If you can't see them, they're little butterflies and they're super freaking cute. He's holding a big paintbrush. There's a cello here. It's like giving me kind of what were those old poet hats? Like it's a throwback kind of energy, like a speakeasy or like a secret club, but it's really cool. It's only for the cool kids club. Okay. I think that's like club isn't, well, with music, yeah, it's a place. It'll maybe inspire you in some way. Maybe it's a place that just has music while you paint. I don't know, but you like it. And it's feels like your vibe for sure there with that 33. Yeah, what the chutes and ladders. Whenever that cycle is like it's so fast. I literally saw just zoop. It's like a chutes and ladders energy, and it's just a matter of closing out this old cycle. It could be the opportunity comes in fast, and when you say yes, the choice when you do say yes, I mean it's a lot more fun than you thought it was going to be. It wasn't scary at all. You're like, why'd I wait so long to close that door? This is hella fun. It's way more suited to you. I don't even know what that's for, but it's way more suited to you. Okay. All right. Take that for what it is. I hope that helps. Okay. We've got here. Oh, thank you, Ash. Cards for Jennifer, Judy, Peggy, Kathy, Ashley, Ed. We've got Kathy, Ed, Ash, Judy. Let's get Jennifer and Peg. Advice card, the shaman's dream for, well, good gravy. Okay. Winter's gestation, the dream period here. We're about to come out of that. There's this is actually like a little butterfly here. She's kind of closing her eyes and resting during the winter here. It's a 63. Whatever has been culminating. There's also this Nautilus energy here. The gestation or the thinking period or the time of the 9 of the Hermit over. And then we got that change of fortune, that 28 hollow bone teachability. And what was on the bottom here, flipped over here, clarity and organization. And it's a 1. Yeah, this feels like big change. I like it. On the bottom of the deck, mindful groupthink. We read this card aloud the other day. The gestation period, the thinking time, the time of 9, 10, 1 and a 0 is a 1. This is it's just the steps. The period of rest or the period of where it's all culminating is over. We're ready that winter ice is thawing here and stepping into the spring. There's 2 houses featured here, tree houses. So maybe moving locations as well. And I just heard hidden door. Hidden door. Oh, okay. Is like zoop, elevator up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rungs up, 6 floors. Pay attention to what floor you get on. Like, it doesn't matter where you go. It's something to do with 6 floors up. And look at all these stories of these houses. I mean, they're It's like one upon like it's big. The tree house kind of, it's like all these new little nooks and crannies to explore. It's a feeling of, okay, winter gestation, just how it would normally feel when spring comes, right? Everything new opens up. But again, this is this is this is forward movement pretty quickly and in order. The floors are in order. In a hidden door, a door you didn't see. Doors can represent opportunities. Maybe you just didn't see it coming, or you thought, who, me? Yeah, you. Okay. That's what that is. Yeah, you. Okay. That's what that was. All right. And Miss Peggy, thinking of your question, Miss Peg. Well, that was a whole mood, a whole chunk. Okay, 49, the fates, skywriting. I actually want to get a better shuffle here. Blue, red, blue, faded, and then more red here on the bottom. Compassion, heart home. Pardon my reach. Okay. Grace and generous. So skywriting the fates, it's a 49, which is a 13. So the ending and then a new beginning. Then a cycle of grace and generosity. This is like my favorite card in the whole deck because look how much fun they're having. We talked about that one the other day. The communication, the mushrooms, the pink flowers. I just saw the I call it my pink card, which is the Hanged Man, but it's like Pink in her concerts when she's in the silks and she uses like trapeze and she's hanging upside down with this pink flower. So I don't know, that's coming in for a reason as far as communication and mushrooms. There is a pink flower associated or attached to this communication. And that's how you know it's a friend and not a foe. It's of benefit. And then bookending this faded blue energy of the 13, another 13, it's a 58. And vanishing mirror. So it feels like this is something you've already like seen. We learn about ourselves through others. Already you've already seen this. So then why the 13 and 13 is a 26, which is a cycle. There's an ending of a cycle here with compassion for ourselves. Yeah, if you've already learned a lesson, this is spirit going. It's like time to get in our little soul chariot here. It feel like long. It's like not even just recently. That lesson was learned along. You saw this and you healed that shadow aspect a long time ago. And it's calling for action. So the communication associated with some kind of a pink rose here. Mushrooms are like, again, the whole communicator of the forest. And there's pink on this edge of the card and pink on this edge of the card. I feel like that's weirdly important here for some reason. I can't really get a clear read, so I'm not going to tell you what I'm not seeing. I forgot there's a little fairy down here. There's like a little wish when you wish upon a star. It's something you've already resolved, but you're still hanging around here instead of doing your own wish. I don't know what that means, girl, but if you do, then there you be. Okay. Yeah, it's like feels a lot older. Like this is done been learned. That one's giving me a little bit of pause, going to be honest there. Yeah, I don't know what you'd be. I mean, you're always busy. I don't think you'd be waiting around for anything. Okay. Radical acceptance. This is the beloved card. See how here, blue, red, communication, root chakra, passion. This old thing that you've already learned the lesson of. Um, maybe we were like super attached to whatever it was. And this is detaching from that, accepting what is, accepting that some kind of lesson is done, been over. Like you don't have to try to attempt to learn it. There's nothing more to kind of pick apart there. You already did the work. Yeah. We ain't moving, straddling worlds. It's the in between. Like, why are we? Thank you guys for giving me grace here because I knew there was something more here. Like this was way. Well, like why are we still here? There's like fun to be had, and it was like, you know, this attachment component or feeling like you had to. I don't even know what that means for you, but we're not wandering between realms anymore. We're in that little chariot, and this is happiness. Let your joy move you forward out of this because the lesson part has already been learned. Okay, there was something just about, the attachment component or like just not even really thinking about it, like that's just always the way I've done it kind of energy. Didn't really think about it. And now we're seeing that. Now we're feeling that. Now we're accepting it. Okay. Countdown energy with the 3 and the 2. We got a 13 and a 13. This thing was already part of your repertoire. We don't need to learn it again, but there's a new component to it as far as allowing that communication to take you forward or the new news. I'm telling you, something to do with the pink rose. Okay. All right. Let's see. Ash was texting your sister. Oh, okay. You're trying to get them to, like, you feel like a friend and be good for her. All right. Hey, Tourmaline Tarot. Hi there. Is that Morgan? Thanks, you guys. Awesome. Did I get everybody's cards? Okay. Make sure, just tell me if I missed you. Okay. Silent questions. Did I get you? I got you, Judy, right? Hey, Nicole. The energetics right now, I know. It's a whole mood. That's you got to go back to I broke it down day by day for you, and it was posted on Tuesday. It's they look different than my other thumbnails. It has like the cosmos in it, and it says the energetics for the week. Yesterday was a whole damn mood, and pretty much the rest of the week, as some of us may be kind of clinging to the bumper of some things, but the universe will Drano, if it's not balanced for you, dear, if it's not for your best and highest good, we gotta let it go. Okay. Let it go because there's a reason it's blocking you from your best and highest good. And it feels weird. It feels a little panicky. That's what we were talking about. Just breathe. We want to release expectation and control because we tend to hold on to things that are we're not supposed to be holding on to still. Aw, I'm looking like it's date night. Well, thanks. I think it's the first time in a week I put on, well, since last date night that I put on mascara. Oh gosh. Okay. Did I answer your question? I hope so. Oh, you're so welcome. Changing the channel name to advice. I love that. I think you should totally use that. The at least be a weekly episode of what's the advice of the week. I love it. All right. Crazy Sag wants to run with it. Do it. Do it. It feels good. It feels awesome. I feel like it'd be popular. Absolutely. You're welcome, guys. I just want to scroll through and make sure I'm not missing anybody. I have a package at my door. I do. I will look at that when I'm done with you all here. I just want to make sure. Are you too late to ask a question? No, dear. You don't have to type it in if you don't want to, but just go ahead and think of whatever that was. Uh-oh, we had a flipper here for the last of Judy's. 29. There's the 11. I think when I very first started my channel, or when I did my first read with MJ, it might be on her site actually to book a reading with me. I talked about just because life is a cactus. I know it's kind of funny with Vegas desert, but doesn't mean you have to sit on it. So maybe that's coming through for a reason here. What this old thing was, wherever that's relevant for you. Resourcefulness. Boy, are you ever. Yeah, just because we don't have to make the cactus our couch or be uncomfortable because we should be. And this little cactus, you have this deck, it has horns. So it's like a little bit of stubbornness of like, well, I've just always sat on a cactus couch. I'm used to the prickles or thorns. Preparations coming into fruition there. Another 6. Okay, let's get you a card for Tourmaline Tarot. Like the cactus. That might be there for you too, Tourmaline, because it's like just because you always done something a certain way, and especially if it's never felt good, we don't keep sitting on the cactus, right? You got a double 4 here, 44, the courage to step into life. I was talking about lightning energy a couple of days ago. It came in my dream. And this is a raven, but he has peacock feathers. So a little bit of Queen of Wands energy there. Stella getting her groove back. The courage to step into life. So I just heard no longer common, like an uncommon. It's something that was, hold on. Okay. It's like somebody, like nobody sees this coming or something, somebody wouldn't expect this of you. It's not common for you. And then this is kind of like sends shock waves throughout your peeps. Like everybody's like, wait, what? Say what again? I keep looking at his eye, and it's like there's a bullseye right on his heart chakra there. See those 2 orange energies? And like they're almost the same size. It's like you're nearly there. There's just a little bit more balance required. I just heard it's the courage to step into life, but it's like the Wizard of Oz courage. It's like, and does he know the Tin Man gets a heart? You might find a black feather as a sign, but it's something like people are not expecting this. Or maybe even you thought you were pretty common, but you're not. Okay. This is a raven with peacock feathers. So, yeah, perfect storm. Whatever is going here, this is like major. Like, just be like, bye. Kind of like tailing back on that. Don't let the door hit you in the butt. This is like major upgrade. Okay, whatever that is, Tourmaline Tarot there. Again, preparation coming to fruition, and another double number, 44 and 11, deep quiet meditation and stillness, the dark raven. It's like these crystals, you're going to get an answer. It'll be like and it's sudden. It hits your heart suddenly, and then you take action. Okay. No way. Underneath that, a 55. I mean, what the? Mount St. Helens. 44/11/55. We had that all in one reading on one day. I can't remember which. Net caster, this choice, this tailing on these cards over here too with those greens. There is a seahorse, so it's some kind of role reversal or something you didn't see yourself doing. Definitely other people didn't see you doing. I don't know if you knew you had it in you or you knew you had it all along and it just was that right energetic balance came in for you and suddenly there you are. You're no longer a raven. You are a raven with peacock wings. That green, it's the opening up of the heart. Okay. Any other? Okay. Another 11. So whatever, and this cactus is a 29, also an 11. So whatever was the thorn in your side, whatever you were continuing to sit on just because you're used to the pain of it, doesn't make it any fun, right? That obstacle is being freed from your path here. I like that. Okay, thank you. 32 is a 5. Yeah, this is a change. It's sudden. Okay. Jeweled connectivity. I hope that helps ya. It feels very exciting. Nicole, did I get you? Okay, I'm just gonna I'll just play one anyway, just in case, because I know there's a delay. Does Nicole want to know anything, or is it just here we go? What does Nicole need to know for her best and highest good? This guy here. They saw this yesterday and the day before, getting ready to be flooded with plenty. We've got to allow, it feels like if you've been pouring from an empty cup or over giving, filling our own cup, we get the right idea. We see that our energy changes when we have boundaries and we are not pouring from that empty cup any longer. Because if you think about it, you're walking in the forest, right? And there's like a little puddle of water. That is not free flowing water. That is stagnant. That is poisonous. That's what happens when we pour from an empty cup of our heart, when we're not taking care of ourselves, when we're over giving, when we are giving to the point of exhaustion. By filling our own heart's cup, we get that only the overflow is what we share with others, but it comes from first pouring into ourselves. Um, it's a 43 energy, so this feels like divine protection here. Like this is really important for some kind of self-care here. I just keep, and this is not really even the energetics of, you can look it up and maybe it will resonate further for you, but it feels like this is really a big push to over giving to our detriment, but like more than you would deserve the repercussion for. Like this could have health consequences if we continue. It feels like an urgent message to like heal this. Keep getting it, pouring from an empty cup. Like up there in the top of that energy was like always being the fixer, always being the one, just because you've always done it. But it's it's physical. It's taking a physical toll on not just your energy, but your body. Yeah. There's a 15 on the bottom there. That is devil energy. So that's fear. But what if I don't keep over giving, are they still going to be my friend? Are they still going to be my partner? Are they still going to like me? Yes. The ones that are just there for the overgiving will fall away, but that's for your best and highest good, right? That's not really a friend if they are holding you back because you're so exhausted you can't give to yourself. It's holding you back. But by you can barely see it here faintly. There's a person in here in this image. It's moving out of stagnation, this dust devil energy, and the yellow solar plexus is starting to shine through. We got to follow that because how we've been doing it is not the way. I hope that resonates for you, or maybe, again, like I said, if it doesn't, check out the book definition because that was all channeled messages there. But it does feel somebody who does not want you. There's a person in particular that we're over giving to, and whoever that's talking to me right now does not like this other person very much. I don't know where that's coming from. I don't normally get those kind of messages, but they're not a fan. Let's just say that of wherever we're giving all this flood of energy to. It's having a physical toll on your body. But as soon as we stop doing that and prioritizing our own cup, getting that water flowing again, getting those feelings and emotions flowing, following our own happiness, then you'll start to feel the healing of whatever this is for you. I hope that helps you. Good. Okay, good. I just got a little down that side. Add the numbers to 111 or 3. Yeah, 111 would be a 3, like 111, the 3 points. Body, mind, and soul. Did I get one for you, Kaylee? Puff puff, look what I still got here. Love these. I don't know why this brings me joy, but it does. Right here. And I am going to use them. I think it was Judy that said use them as um, bookmarks. I'm like, that's a great idea. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Let me get card for Kaylee, then we'll go ahead and wrap it up because we're at 2:01. There's your freeze. Time to replenish. I feel like you're doing that. There's that 16 energy of the tower looking that I shared with you guys that is literally what I saw in my dream, but it was like my little self looking down at my big self. And we shared that last week. You found that heart, right? Your heart is at the beach. You're doing exactly this. Again, moving out of stagnation. Anything else for Kaylee? Finish us up. Thank you again, everyone, so much for the most fun date night. Got me out of bare face mode. There's the change again. Completion. It was a reverse. This is not a reversal deck, but maybe there's like a tiny little crack left open here, something to finish out, or one more way to complete the cycle. Something else needs to be said, or there's one small change that that still need. Thank you, Spirit. There's a little tweak here. It's an almost. Is somebody spiraling? Okay. This comes to the cup. There's a reason it's following that cup message. So this is like the well there is water there, but somebody that's spiraling maybe feeling responsible for it or like it was a duty because of that Sag energy, that fiery, that orange, the sacral chakra here. I feel like it's not really your problem, but either somebody is making it your problem or trying to use it as some kind of guilt, maybe. You're trying to take care of you, but then they're like, well, what about me? And they're like spiraling. Yeah, look how these connect together. If you can see how that little crack, right? That little crack in the door over here, and the light, then I know everything's backwards on here for me, is coming down this way and it goes like that. So even if the door is just a crack, it'll still pull you down just as fast. Like it's like kind of like if I give them an inch, they're going to take a mile, but you know this already. Sometimes the messages are weird, guys, and even if they don't make sense to me, then I'm still reporting them as they come out. So I'm glad you could join us too tonight. Oh, thank you. Absolutely. I love doing this. This is my joy. Um, yeah, movement towards adventure, Kaylee, another flippin' 5. So yeah, you're doing the right thing, whatever you are doing. But if you think that you can just leave a crack open or they're not that bad, or I don't even know if it's it's a situation, whatever this is, it's going to come and drain you again. Don't, if you give an inch, they're going to take a mile. I'm just reporting the message. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay. Yep. Every night at 6, don't forget to check out the subscriber art spotlight. If you would like to share anything with me that you have created or snap a picture of anything you consider beautiful, send it on to me, and it gets posted every Friday night here on the channel and under my community posts. And with that, I will bid the rest of you guys adieu for the night. Thank you so much for your time, energy, and love, the care that you show me. I appreciate you very much. And I will see you tomorrow. I believe we are getting together with Miss Peg. Put it in the comments there. I want to make sure I got my date right. I think that's tomorrow at 3 over on True to It at Liz's channel. We will definitely see you there at 3, and I'll see you guys either tomorrow at 9:30 live or a completed video, whichever I go with the flow with for the morning. Yep. Bye, you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I'm going to go make me some Dina. Thank you so much. Love you too. Bye bye.